Hello everyone and welcome back to Cooking with Suzanne. So we're going to do one more dish with the letter G. We're going to cook with gelatin. Just a good old-fashioned box of Knox gelatin from the supermarket, and we're going to prepare a lovely panna cotta, a buttermilk panna cotta. So the first thing that we need to do to get started is to bloom our gelatin. 1 3/4 teaspoon of gelatin to 1 tablespoon of cold water. So I'm just going to add the gelatin to the water. And by the way, this is such a lovely dessert to enjoy in the summertime. So you want to let this set for about 5 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to grab a sauce pot, and to it we will add 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream. So here's 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and I'm going to set this on medium heat. To it, I will add 7 tablespoons of sugar, which is 1/4 cup of sugar plus 3 tablespoons. And what we want to do is warm up the heavy cream and melt our sugar. And the flavoring that we're going to use here for our panna cotta is vanilla bean. So I just have about a 2-inch piece of vanilla bean here, a very small piece. Going to flatten it out and remove the pulp from the vanilla bean, both sides. And we will add the entire bean plus the pulp to the cream and the sugar. So let me just give this a whisk. You're not looking to bring this to a boil. You just really want to get your sugar melted and your cream heated up. And I put the whole bean in there too, just to add more flavoring. And of course, after that is heated up, we need to add our gelatin, which is what helps it set up. So let's just see how this is doing. So let's go ahead and put, here is our gelatin. You see how it's all set up? You can actually see it, right? Look at that. And now we want to whisk that into our warm cream until it's completely dissolved. Make sure you get it all out. There we go. And just whisk this. And then we will add 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk to this. And that's all there is to making panna cotta. As I said, what makes it especially good is when you have very, very good heavy cream and an excellent quality buttermilk. All right, this is nicely, I think all of the gelatin is completely melted and it's incorporated into the heavy cream, which is what you're looking for. And now we can go ahead and put in our buttermilk. There we have it. And now we'll just pass this through a strainer. Here we go. And just use your rubber spatula to make sure to scrape it out and get all the vanilla bean from your pot. There. And then all that's left here is our vanilla bean pod, which if you rinse this under cold water and then set it on a paper towel, you can let that dry out, and when it's completely dry, you can add it to a quart of sugar and make vanilla sugar with it. So you get another use out of it, which is very nice. And you can use 4-ounce Pyrex glass dishes. These might be a little bit larger, but it's about 4 ounces for a portion. If you had some nice glasses that you wanted to use, you could put the Panna Cotta directly in a pretty glass, and you can put your fruit right on top after it's set up, and you can serve it straight out of the glass. So I'll show it to you both ways. This should give you about 8 portions. And you want to let this set up in the refrigerator. It'll take at least 3 hours, but you're even better off just to let it set overnight. Okay, and here we have our 8 portions. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the refrigerator, and then we'll talk about our strawberries. So we're going to serve our Panna Cotta with some macerated strawberries. I would say for 8 portions, you'd probably need about a quart of strawberries. 4 to 5 cups of strawberries should be plenty. And these are actually very nice right now, and they're pretty flavorful. And you can either slice them or quarter them. You could even dice them if you wanted to. And to it, we will add for about 5 cups of strawberries, if they are nice and tasty and in season and have full flavor, I would say you would need 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar and a little bit of sugar. And you want to also add a little lemon juice to this. So I would say about a tablespoon for 5 cups of strawberries. I don't have 5 cups here, I have about a cup, so I'm not going to add all of it. And we'll let this macerate, and then you'll actually be able to see the juice that it's going to make, which we will also serve up with the Panna Cotta. Okay, we'll let this rest, we'll let our Panna Cotta chill, and then we'll be back to plate it up. Okay, so our Panna Cotta chilled overnight, and they are all set and ready to be plated. And we will plate both ways so that you can see how you can do it at home. Okay, so I have a little soup plate here. So you just take a little palette knife and go around, all the way around. These are very, very delicate. And you want to get the center of your plate. And then just tip it upside down. And it should just fall right out. And if it doesn't, it just needs a little bit of air to get underneath so that you can take the custard out, the Panna Cotta out. And then what you want to do is first take a little bit of the strawberry juice that has lemon in it also. And go around your plate with it. Then you can start plating some strawberries. I also have some raspberries. We can put a few raspberries in here. Orange would also be very nice with the strawberries. And I candied some sunflower seeds. You can use a candied nut like a candied walnut or a candied pistachio. These are candied sunflower seeds. And it's just with egg white and sugar, and you bake them in the oven. You toast them until they're nice and golden brown. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a few sunflower seeds. It gives it a nice little crunch. Since the Panna Cotta is so silky and elegant, this just gives it another texture in your dish. And then I also scooped out some sorbet, and this is an orange sorbet. So you can put a couple of very small scoops of sorbet around the plate. 2 or 3 is nice. And then if you had a nice edible flower, a pansy or a violet, you could put it right in the center. And there we have it. And we're going to, I'm just going to take some diced strawberries. I diced some up, which would look very nice on top here if you wanted to just serve it in a glass like this. Doesn't that look beautiful? Very nice. That looks absolutely great. And you could sprinkle a few sunflower seeds right on the top. Yeah.
Looks cute.
Okay, I'm going to take
Cute,
a photo.
beautiful. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Bob. I'm the wine director. So a couple things before I talk about preparing for this. One, if you remember Mr. Green Jeans, Mr. Green Jeans was kind of like a guest star for Captain Kangaroo for many, many years, and he'd come in at the end. I'm pretty sure he came in at the end, and he had his banjo, and he was his farmer that played the banjo. And so I sort of feel like Mr. Green Jeans, you know, coming in at the end. I should have an accordion one day, maybe under A. Oh, I gotta go back to A. Anyways, one of these days I'll have the accordion. And on that same note, no pun intended, actually pun intended, on a music front, it seems like people did enjoy our little dance a couple videos ago. So thank you for watching. One of these days, whether it's a banjo or accordion, we'll make that happen. Okay, so for the dessert, which is a wonderful, refreshing, soft, just feels great in your mouth sort of dessert. We want to add a little bit of texture. So I'm not going to go the route of an ice wine, which is very, very thick, but just a little bit backing off of that. And I did pair this at the restaurant with a Hunt Country, which is a Finger Lakes winery, Vignoles. So it's Vignoles, Vignole, which is wonderful. There's, once again, there's stone fruits with most of the dessert wines, and this is not heavy in sugar, maybe 8%, 10% tops. So it's got some sugar, but it's got some viscosity to it, so texture to it. So it adds a little dimension to the Panna Cotta dish. And the other one I would mention is right around the corner from us is Boundary Breaks Winery. They start off only making Rieslings. Their Rieslings are wonderful, and if you pick a little bit sweeter of a Riesling with a little bit of acidity, so one of those two types of wines will work great. Enjoy it with your Panna Cotta and enjoy your day.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this dessert. How about you?
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you again. See you next time.
Take care.